In this video, we're in Stanley Park in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. This is the perfect stop if you have a layover in Vancouver.
We are in Vancouver, British Columbia, in Stanley Park, which is a major attraction for Vancouver. There are a lot of seaplanes.
Much.
This park has stunning panoramic views. It's right on the ocean, lots of greenery, and it has cultural significance to the area as well.
At over 1,000 acres, it's Canada's second largest urban park.
There are so many activities here. We have selected just a few for today. You can see this as just a quick layover or spend an entire day in the park.
There's lots of ways to get here. Public transport, car is probably the easiest. Public transport might even be easier. We got a little lost.
Follow the signs. We'll show you around and show you some accessible stops here in the park. Stanley Park is a big loop that you drive, and our first stop is at the totem poles. We are currently on the traditional and unceded land of the Salish people. You can access the totem poles from their own parking lot. There is handicap parking available, or from the Lighthouse parking lot, and it is less than a kilometer between both of them.
The totem poles are deeply rooted in the culture of the Indigenous people of the Pacific Northwest. Each pole tells a story representing clan lineage, historical events, or mythological events. Tales.
There are plaques at each pole too that you can read, and lots of places to sit, and the ground is pretty even.
Yes. So this is the 9 o'clock gun. It's a 12-pound muzzle-loading naval cannon originally brought to the park in the 1890s.
It fires every day since, pretty much, at 9 p.m. and is used as a time signal for the people of Vancouver and for the people on their ships in the harbor. And when I say almost every night, there has been kidnappings of the gun. It's now completely enclosed, as you can see, to help prevent kidnappings. Of course, that was done by university students. And during COVID, it went off at 7 instead of 9 to thank the first line workers. If you're here in the evening, come check it out. It's cool to see, especially if you're here at the time of the year where sunset is around the same time. Other than that, this spot has a great view of, there's a military base, HMCS Discovery, off to the right of the gun. You might see some cool ships. There's also a place where the harbor air runs, and you'll see a lot of float planes taking off.
A lot of float planes. Seems like every 2 minutes.
The city of Vancouver is right here. It's stunning. Plus, it's across the way. You can also see where the cruise ships leave Vancouver. And there's a bench and parking lots. Although, to get down to the seawall, which is what they call the walkway around the park, I don't know where you do that. We have yet to find a way down there from the parking lots.
I'm sure there's several staircases, but
we'll keep you abreast of that situation. So we've been gingerly walking along the bike path very carefully and very respectfully, trying not to be killed. A thing we're really trying to accomplish. To get to the 9 o'clock gun, you can either park at the totem parking or at the Lighthouse parking. It's kind of in between them, and it's maybe 200 meters each direction.
currently standing at Brockton Point Lighthouse. It was established in the early 20th century and serves as a significant historical landmark within the park.
And it marks the easternmost point of the park. There are lots of parking spaces. However, it is not all that safe or accessible for people with a disability, as there are hundreds of bikes whizzing by and you have to cross the bike path somehow without being killed. To get down to the seawall, you have to take stairs. To get down to the lighthouse, you have to take stairs. So you're stuck at the upper viewing spot, trying not to die by bike. We are at the Girl in Wetsuit sculpture. It was one of my childhood favorites. It was sculpted in 1972, and as a child I thought it was a mermaid. The pose of the statue is similar to that as the one in Copenhagen, the mermaid statue. We parked at the aquarium parking lot, which is about 200 meters of depth to get here. There is no accessible way to get from a parking lot to the seawall, so you end up having to walk in the bike lane. City of Vancouver, you need to fix this. It is a problem. So be very careful when you're walking. There's only sharp embankments to get down. They've made it safe for people walking unless you're driving and parking because you're disabled and can't walk the entire seawall. You can see behind us too the lighthouse. There's a blue heron down there.
Yeah.
This is Prospect Point. I'm happy to report it is completely accessible from the parking lot. Yay! It is a great spot to get panoramic views of Burrard Inlet, the North Shore Mountains, and the Lion Gate Bridge.
It's a great spot to watch ships pass too.
There's lots of places to sit. There's bathrooms here. A nice spot. Everything's nice. There are also beaches along the way. We are at Third Beach. There's a second beach, no, First Beach.
We're at Second Beach.
We're at Second.
We're confused. We're at Second Beach, pretty sure.
Okay, we're there. So there's a pool here and a nice beach, lots of picnic areas. We've done pretty much the entire loop now. For parking, you only have to buy parking once, and your parking ticket is good throughout the entire park for the length of however long you bought parking.
The signage for the different stops, having never driven here before, is really hard. This was laid out, I think, and signage was done by someone that knows this place, and they should be fired from their job because they suck. By the time you see the sign and process what you've read, you've passed the turn. It's really annoying.
But it's a fun day. And on that note, don't forget to subscribe today so you can travel with ease tomorrow.
I'm counting down the days till we fly away, heading to the